Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So again, I'm pleased to bring you another video that featured on my sale video, my top five Pagani design watches that I think you should be really looking at. This is their Black Bay 56 Homage. I've got the Tiffany blue one. I did really want to get a different colour in, but Tiffany blue is so hot at the moment and actually looks really beautiful that I was struggling. I wanted to go for the white or the blue, and I'll bring some different ones up later in the video so you can see the different colours they've got. But this one looks hot to trot. They've got a date and no date sort of options available, but this one, yeah, the Tiffany blue at the moment is as I say, it's hot to trot. And also the fact they're now making slightly smaller dress watches, homaging obviously more established watches that are already out there, I think it's putting them in a good position. As I say, I'm not the first to review this watch, unfortunately. I've been trying to get these watches in as and when they come out, but in terms of getting them shipped out and stuff, I can't seem to sort of get in there early doors. But yeah, one definitely worth considering. And as I always say, hopefully by the end of the video you'll know if it's for you or not. But as I always say as well, I really appreciate you tuning back in. And without further ado, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. Again, usual Pagani design packaging. They do offer a bit more of a premium packaging, but yeah, I certainly wouldn't go for that. Just go for the box standard one. As you can see, I've gone for the Tiffany blue style one. They got a few different color variations I'll bring up now. And inside, I did take out 4 links for it to fit my wrist, and I was actually quite impressed with these links actually. Yeah, nice. It's independent. The middle link is independent of the other side, so that's quite nice. Bit of articulation. At the sides, you've got the warranty card, instruction manual, and the inner foam is what you normally have. But then let's look at the watch, because that's the reason you've tuned in. And this is the one, as I said, a few different other color variations. I had to go for this color just because I quite like the color. A bit of a guilty pleasure at the moment. Let me just take the crown out and put some juice into it. But yeah, the model number for this is the PD-1716. Inside it's running the Seiko NH35 movement. I know already you can see there's no date on there, so it would have been nice if they'd gone for an NH38, but they didn't, so that's what you're left with. Yeah, so as you'll see, the NH35 movement, rugged, reliable movement. It's got hacking hand winding, about a 40-hour power reserve, 21,600 beats per hour. These NH movements are the sort of movement of choice for a lot of micro brands and also watches on AliExpress, just because of their reliability. They sort of go and go. So yeah, if you've got an NH movement in your watch, you're kind of doing okay, to be honest. Not a bad movement, sort of, for these affordable watches. But the construction of this watch, aside from the crystal on the front and back, is all 316L stainless steel. So you've got a fixed high polished bezel, case, crown, outer part of the exhibition case back, solid links, bracelet and clasp, all 316L stainless steel. The case thickness of this watch is 11.7 millimeters. The case diameter, when you go from the 8 to the 2, is 37.1. When you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown, that does become 39.6 millimeters. The lug width is 20. That does taper down to 18, back up to 20 at the clasp. And the lug to lug, tip to tip, is 44.4 millimeters. So yeah, very compact watch. And you'll see that on my wrist, as you did in the intro. And a bit in a few moments when we look at the dial, it's very compact, and it would probably suit a lot of wrist sizes given that compactness of the watch. The case back is an exhibition case back, so it's a mineral crystal at the back, and just showing off that NH movement. If I can just get it in my lighting. There you go. Yeah, nice. Not the best looking movement in the world, but it does the job. Yeah, so, and the bezel is a fixed high polished bezel, as you'll see, and the crown is situated at the 3 o'clock, signed, screwed down crown, and the engagement, unlike some others that I've had recently, is not too bad, not too difficult to engage with. The bracelet, as I showed you the links at the start, is actually really nice. I actually quite like the bracelet. As I said, tapers down nicely. Nice brushing at the front. It looks like a satin brush, to be honest. It doesn't even just look like a vertical brush. Looks satin in the middle, polish at the sides, polish at on the outer, on the flanks of the watch, and it is screw pins just to make changing out the bracelet that bit easier. No problems. As you saw, I took 4 links out for it to fit my wrist. And the clasp is fully milled, brushed at the top, polished at the sides, signed in the middle, 3 levels of micro adjustment, and yeah, you guessed it. Again, they've gone for the diver's extension. Why you need it on a dressy watch, I don't know, but again, they've got it there anyway. So yeah, that's the bracelet, that's the clasp. The crystal covering that dial is sapphire crystal. This looks like a bit of flat sapphire crystal at this point. And the water resistance for this watch, you'll probably make out at the 6 o'clock as well, is 100 meters, so that would give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear in the top right hand corner. It's in and around 131 grams, give or take. That's with 4 links taken out. When you put the 4 links back in, you're probably looking at 140 grams. So nice size and nice proportions, nice weight of the watch. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So you've got a minute track going around the outer edge. Inside that, you've got applied elements everywhere. You've got an inverted triangle at the 12, battens at the 3, 6, and 9, and circular indices everywhere else. The hands and indices are all loomed, so I'll bring that up now so you can have a look at the loom. Not bad, but it probably could have been a little bit better, again, given the fact that this watch, I know it's only a dress watch, but it wouldn't have hurt to put a bit more loom on there. But for some reason, Pagani design don't like to use loom. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, so that's what it is. What it is. Just below the inverted triangle at the 12, you've got Pagani design printed onto the dial, and just above the batten at the 6, you've got automatic 10 bar or 100 meters, and either side of that batten, you've got Japan movement, just highlighting the fact it's an H35 movement running inside. But let me undo the crown quickly. I'll put it to a better position so you can have a look at the dial. Hacking movement, as you'll see. I'll put it over to 9:15 for now, just so you can see. Put it back in. It will start up. You can obviously hand wind it, as you've just seen from earlier, looking at the movement in a bit more detail. If you take it out to the first position, unfortunately it will carry on, and you can hear the date because there's a ghost position on the movement. But take it all the way out, it will hack, and as you saw, I can change the time to whatever. I'm just going to leave it at 9:15 for now. There you go. And then I'll just screw the crown back up. As I said, the engagement on this is far better than some other Paganis I've had, which is good. Again, like I said, Tiffany blue dial. I quite like it. Not the best Tiffany sort of shade of blue I've seen, but not bad. Handed indices, all finished, high polish, and all loomed, as you'd have saw earlier. But let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, guys. Give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist for your reference, and with 4 links taken out, that's what it looks like on me. Good size, I think you'd agree. It's not going to suit everyone with so many polished surfaces, but I like the contrast of polish and brushing and the clasp there. I'm not using any levels of micro adjustment, and as I said earlier, I've taken 4 links out to fit me. Yeah, nice looking piece. But that now take me on. Let me just give it a quick wipe to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched my channel before, you know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I think is pants. I know it's not a dive watch, but the loom, I'm struggling to understand why they offer such substandard loom at times. With the prices creeping up, they really need to start looking at probably offering a bit better loom, because on this it's a bit not as good as I would like. The clasp sticking, so I'll show you. When you close it, not a problem. When you open it, you've got to put quite a bit of force for it to open, so it's sticking in there, which shouldn't be happening. And finally, the ghost position on the movement. They've got a few watches now that they offer as a no date, so investing in NH38 would probably be a good investment at this point for Pagani design. So yeah, they're the 3 things that I think are pants. I'll go with the loom. Excuse me, I didn't say it before, the lugs. Do you hear that? Yep. When I first got the watch, you'll hear lots of noise. And I was like, what is that noise? And was it the bracelet? not really. A bit jingly jangly, not too bad. It's the end links. They're just, I don't know what's going on with them. The fitment's not very good at all. Just makes lots of noise. I didn't know if it was the movement. I managed to find out it was the lugs. See, I'd finally say the lugs in terms of what's going on there. Not ideal. I'd like it to be a bit better fitted. So just to surmise, I'll go with the loom, the clasp stick in, the ghost position, and the lugs are what I think is pants. What I think is Pukka is the dial. I do like the dial. A few different colour variations. Tiffany blue is hot to trot at the moment, so I went for that as well. Yeah, nice case size in keeping with the watches, homaging the Black Bay 36. Yeah, nice proportions, and it comes in sort of just a shade above 37. But yeah, good size for the watch. The bracelet, as I've said already, the brushing and polishing is not for everyone, but the finishing and the articulation on this bracelet is done really, really well. Nice, easy to adjust in terms of the screws at the side. Yeah, the bracelet and the finishing generally in terms of the brushing and polished surfaces, I think they're done well. I wouldn't say the fitment's great because of the lugs, but yeah, in terms of the brushing and polishing, I think it's done to a good standard. And there's a theme that I've noticed on more recent watches from Pagani Design. I do like the finishing on the watches of late. So just to surmise what I think is Pukka, as I go with the dial, the case size, the bracelet, and the finishing are what I think is Pukka. And would I recommend this watch? I would actually. I know I moaned a bit about a couple of things, but I think it's a nice offering. I think I can see the appeal. I can see these selling in their droves. And yeah, nice watch from Pagani Design. One I would recommend. Not perfect, but a very decent offering. So well done, Pagani. And so yeah, with that being said, guys and girls, thank you for tuning back in. Please feel free to let me know what any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like and subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.